The goal here is every time is to do my best, with professionality, be serious, to help the team to win the important trophies for the next season.
You sure did, Don Carlo. Ancelotti is one of the most successful coaches in Real Madrid history. And in his first match as Los Merengues manager, he opted for a somewhat surprising starting 11. Do you remember how Real lined up? No? Fear not. You're about to find out. Here's Ancelotti's first starting 11 as Real Madrid manager. And where are they now? Real Madrid kicked off the 2013-2014 season with a 2-1 home victory against Betis. And Ancelotti chose a starting 11 with some surprises, on and off the field. He left exciting summer signing Gareth Bale out of the squad, as well as dropping veteran Iker Casillas to the bench. Okay, enough talk. Let's reveal the players who were chosen by Ancelotti. Goalkeeper, Diego Lopez. The former Sevilla shot stopper arrived that summer and stole Casillas' spot on the team. Iker, who was also the club captain, had to sit on the bench while Lopez performed admirably for Los Blancos. Lopez was 31 years old back then, so you may think he has retired from professional activity. But you'd be wrong. The goalkeeper is still going strong. After spells with Milan and Espanyol, he now represents Rayo Vallecano in La Liga. Approaching his 41st birthday, Lopez will face Real Madrid and Ancelotti again this season. Right back, Dani Carvajal. Well, this one was quite easy, right? But did you know that this was also Carvajal's debut for the first team? Dani had played 2 seasons for Real Madrid Castilla before going on a seasons-long loan to Bayer Leverkusen. Ancelotti trusted his abilities, and that confidence has paid off. Carvajal has been a mainstay ever since, and is now one of the veterans in the team. With over 330 games for Los Blancos and at just 30 years old, the defender looks set to make more history with the Spanish side. Central defender, Sergio Ramos. No need for tissues, Madridistas. We'll keep this brief. Sergio Ramos needs no introduction. Back then, the defender was criticized for his lack of European success. But little did they know that this season would culminate in his last-minute goal in the Champions League final. So, an apology from his haters is long overdue. Anyway, as a former Sevilla player, facing Betis was always a special occasion for Ramos. Now, with 4 UCL titles to his name, the Spaniard wants to bring European success to Paris. Before the haters start talking trash again. Central defender, Pepe. Oh, good old Pepe, the Portuguese butcher. The man who terrorized his rivals and made many a striker think twice before squaring up to him. How many red cards would he have if VAR existed back then? He was a great defender though, and still is. Because, aged 39, Pepe continues to play at the top level. After leaving Real Madrid in 2017, the defender had an 18-month stint with Turkish giants Beşiktaş. And since 2019, he's been the heartbeat of Porto's defense. Pepe hopes to represent Portugal at his 4th World Cup this November. Left back, Marcelo. Oh, captain, my captain. Marcelo wore the armband due to Casillas' absence that day. Now back then, the Brazilian was already a key player for Madrid, a far cry from the last few years. In any case, the left back went on to become the most decorated player in Madrid's history. He lifted 25 trophies as a merengue. Not bad, huh? With age having caught up with him, Marcelo is now seriously considering retirement. After winning his 5th Champions League crown, the Brazilian departed Madrid this summer. Offers from Qatar and the MLS have failed to entice him. And reports indicate he's focusing on his new life as a businessman. Marcelo currently owns 2 teams, Azurais, a regional club in Brazil, and Mafra in Portugal's 2nd division. Can you imagine him wearing a suit and going to the office every morning? Come on, Marcelo, don't retire yet. Central midfielder Sami Khedira. Another surprise. An inclusion curious enough to raise your eyebrow as high as Ancelotti himself. Khedira was a favorite of Jose Mourinho during his spell in charge of the side, but the German featured sparingly under Ancelotti's tutelage. He did make it into the starting 11 against Betis, however. Khedira would stay at Madrid until 2015 before joining Italian giants Juventus. Man, what a career this guy had. The 2014 world champion stayed in Turin until 2021 before deciding to return to Germany and play for Hertha Berlin for 6 months. Khedira subsequently retired in May 2021, but he's still involved in international football. You see, Sam is part of FIFPro's program for sports leadership. It doesn't mean if you are a good football player that you are a good coach or leader. As a player, you just know the game, but afterwards, you have to lead, and then you have to know what kind of leadership style you have. Before, you were led by others. Now you have to lead. It's important to have the skills needed to do that. Can you imagine Khedira as a coach? Let us know in the comments. Central midfielder, Luka Modric. The second player in our list who's still playing for Real Madrid. Were you paying attention? Can you remember the first one? The diminutive midfielder had a disappointing first season with Los Blancos, failing to win the UCL, La Liga, or the Spanish Cup. In other words, trophyless, just like when he played for Tottenham. Sorry, Spurs fans. But Ancelotti's arrival changed everything for him. The Croatian magician elevated his game to a level many can only dream of reaching, and the rest is history. 5 UCL titles, a World Cup final, and a Ballon d'Or. Approaching his 37th birthday, Modric is still Madrid's midfield maestro, and we wouldn't bet against him staying for years to come. The Champions League won't be the same without him, but he's still a Red Devil, at least at the time of recording. Striker, Karim Benzema. His time had finally arrived. His longtime attacking rival Gonzalo Higuain had departed the previous summer, and the responsibility fell on the Frenchman's shoulders. And guess what? Karim delivered. Benzema scored Real Madrid's first goal against Betis and proved to Ancelotti that he didn't need another striker to partner CR7. Karim had always been considered as a great player, but since Ancelotti's return in 2021, he took his game to another dimension. Virtually assured of the 2022 Ballon d'Or, Benzema has shifted his attention to the World Cup, the only big title left for him to win. Ancelotti's journey as Real Madrid coach was, and continues to be, full of success. And some of the players we named today are still under his stewardship. His story as Madrid's coach started, as we said, with a 2-1 victory over Betis. Benzema and Isco gave the Italian his first reason to smile with Los Blancos. Which footballer in the starting 11 surprised you the most? Could you name them all? Let us know in the comments.